Good morning, traders, and welcome to the Bookmap live trading webinar. This is Bruce at Bookmap. We're going to go through some live market analysis. We do this every Monday, Tuesday, and Friday. So the goal here is to cover the education Friday that we have on our educational course on our website, and all other content and resources that we have. Now we're putting it to the test in the live analysis. This is like a foundational course or live event that we do for you, so that no matter what your trading style is, you can benefit from this and put this kind of analysis or order flow reading into your trading style. Then we have live trading by Jay Trader, a stocks trader, Wednesday, and then Thursday Scott Pulcini, a futures trader. So we really try to cover all the bases for you. We also have Tom B. He is right after this webinar. However, please note he is away this week. He'll be back, he'll be back on Friday. He's away Monday through Thursday. So look for him on Friday. We also have a crypto trader, Rain, at 8:30 a.m. East Coast time. So we're covering all the bases for you. We work hard to offer you high quality educational materials here, so that you can learn and benefit from it and become a better trader. Let's go through the disclosures and we'll jump right in. General disclosure: all Bookmap Limited materials, information, and presentations are for educational purposes only. It should not be considered specific investment advice nor recommendations. The risk disclosure: trading futures, equities, and digital currencies involves substantial risk of loss and is not suitable for all investors. Past performance is not necessarily indicative of future results. Okay, so let's jump in and take a look here and see what's going on. We just had some data here. In fact, as you guys can see, the liquidity heat map here, very dark here right before 10 o'clock. You can see this dark area here, and it's the pulling of liquidity. All right, and they're pulling liquidity because they don't know what the number is. There's risk involved. And this is what happens when there's data releases. People pull their liquidity from the market. Now, what we can gain from that, though, is understanding where other traders believe that they still don't care. They want to stay in the market and get filled at these areas. So they, according to their analysis, this is a discount up here. All right, so these are some of the things you can glean just from the heat map data and understanding what's going on during fundamental events, such as this, what was it? We had the ISM manufacturing PMI. All right, this is an important news release here. So we want to understand what the participants think about this. And we're getting that insight right here in front of us. This is what they think. It's a value up here. Okay, so we see the move into this high liquidity here and through it, and a flip of the order book, and continuing to buy here. So we're looking for them to trade up to this 57 area here. Okay, this is a strong move. Okay, looking for 57. Maybe you can get up to 62, 65. All right, let's zoom out though. We want the bigger picture context. That's just the immediate market we're looking at here. Okay, well, we see a beautiful trend here since about 6 a.m. Onwards, and a lot of buying coming in, trading into high liquidity, still more buyers. Nice little sell-off right at 9:30, but it's still bullish here. We came down to the bottom of this range here. There's high liquidity in here, and we see buyers come in and they're supporting it here on the bid. Okay, so we're getting a lot of insight there. All right, let me turn on stops and icebergs here, and we'll take CVD off. All right, there we go. I also have the point of control indicator and also the VWAP on here. All right, so we have a few different add-ons here. You can see that they're resetting here also at 9:30 a.m. So your VWAP might look different than mine because all of this previous volume in here is not within the calculation. Okay, so just so you know that with the VWAP here. All right, so let's see. Let's zoom in here. We just traded into this high liquidity here. That's what we're looking for. And 57, 58, I guess. And we still see buyers here. Okay, so we're still looking for higher levels here. Now let's take a step back though and put this into context in our bigger picture. Okay, and let me check for questions or anything here. I think you guys can hear me fine in Discord. I think so. Let's double check. Yeah. Okay. And let me double check in YouTube. Aloha, Crypto Surfer. Excellent. Okay, yeah, we're all set. Okay, all right, so here we are. We're still climbing higher and up into 60 right now. We're talking about 62 and 65. Now, we're getting up there pretty high. And we see a lot of high liquidity up in here. Obviously, the data here at 10 o'clock, the reaction to it was bullish stance in the market here, so we're continuing to go higher. And we look for this. This is a strong move here, right? But what is the context of this strong move for the day here, in fact, in the higher time frame levels here? All right, so let's take a look here, looking at just a very simple candlestick chart with volume in the subchart. This is a daily here on the left-hand side, and you can see what happened here. Last week, we dipped below this important swing here at around 36.40 or so, down below it. And now we're seeing some buying pressure come in right back above it or into this range in here. Okay, so pretty strong candle here on the daily. Now we need to see if they want to continue to buy or not. If they do, well, we can see a move back up to here, 37.32 or so, somewhere around there, right? That would be here, 37.32. That would be up by these wicks up in here on the hourly here in the center of the chart. Okay, so the context here is we're finding buyers down here. So we're looking for them to continue on up. 71 here looks pretty good. Okay, and then also the top of this wick here, 83, somewhere around in here. So it's a zone. And we're looking to see if we still find more buyers. So first is this kind of, well, it's around 68 to 70 level that we want to take a look at. All right, now here's the 15-minute chart here on the right hand side, and let's take a deeper look into this level here that we were just talking about here. Okay, so around this 68 to 83 or so. Okay, so here's our 68 level up in here, and here's our 83, 84 level up in here. Okay, so we're just coming up into it, and yeah, we don't see anything different yet. So we're still looking for a little bit of selling pressure starting to come in right now. You can see on the wick at least after coming up to this swing here. So still looking for, oh, they came right up to 62. Okay, so 62 looks pretty good there. That is now we really need to kind of take a look and see what buyers and sellers think of this market in here. Okay, so it's a pretty strong candle so far, but it just means that there's buying pressure on here. That's all. Now we want to take a look at the order flow here and see what's going on. All right, so let's zoom in Bookmap. All right, let's take the volume dot size down a little bit. Okay, we see some sellers coming in here. Still pretty strong move. Right here, look at the sellers right here. Okay, this is something to take a look at. Okay, now we need to get buyers back up above that. Right now, this is a small move here, but it can lead to something bigger. Okay, so on Friday, went through this exercise in the webinar to go through and understand the different areas of putting the picture together of where traders took control and understanding these moves in here on all time frames. Okay, not just on Bookmap in here, but and then looking to see, like, if sellers are taking control of the market at this point, will it continue that way or not? And that's what we want to determine, because in this little time frame here, just after 10:09, sellers are in control. Okay, they move the market away. Okay, so now that's a very small time frame, though. In the bigger picture, buyers are still have it here, right? They're still in control. We're still making higher highs, higher lows, and just getting a feel for the different traders and the participants here in the market, right? So let's see if we can get our buyers back up to here and above it. Okay, if not, right, and we see high liquidity here at 60 again. Okay, now here comes our test. If not, what we're looking for is sellers to come back in here, okay, in this range in here, and take control and move it back down at least to the bottom of the range, maybe down here about 56. That's this liquidity down here. So there's some exhaustion. Here's some sellers coming in. All right, let's see them continue now and come down to bottom of the range here at 56. Okay, just 56 right now. That's it. Okay, and if we get enough sellers, then we'd be looking for them to come down further. Okay, maybe down to this swing down here, around 54, 55, or 53 down here. All right. So again, we're putting this into context in here, right, and understanding this process of who's in control in certain areas, taking control. All right, is there any questions on that? Like to understand this move here, and how important it is to understand the relationship of this to all of the price action that follows it. Okay, see, there's our move into 56. Right now we want to see, are we going to still drop below, and then we get more sellers to drop down into 52, 53, or 4, whatever we were calling down here. Yeah, 54 to 53, I guess. Okay, or is this going to be like just dips down below and we get buyers come in and come back up into the tops of these ranges here? Okay, it looks like we're getting more sellers at the moment. Let me see if we had any questions here. Good morning, JC, Kevson. Okay, a bit more selling here. Anyway, guys, let's just we'll mark up this area here, right? We talked about the bullish move to the upside, and then this changed everything. Okay, this little area right here. Okay, so now we're looking for down here, and we also talked about top of the range down to the bottom of the range here at 56, which is already unfolded. So let's see if we can get a bit more selling, and then a nice move down into 54. All right, so now again, this is on this time frame from here onwards, and we want to understand the relationship. Okay, so now we're getting buyers coming in here, and it looks like they're going to go for back to the top of the range here. Okay, if they can't get through this area here, and we get more sellers again down here, right here, okay, we're looking for not only back down to the bottom of the range, we're looking for the push through it. And right now, we don't really have too much insight. We're back up into this middle of this range in here. All right, so let's see if any other markets you guys want to take a look at, or if not, we'll jump back and put this into context again. We're always putting this into context here, understanding some of the price action here in the order flow. Okay, to put this into the context of gaining some insight here, and then looking for follow through. So look at the sellers come in now. Okay, they're taking control again and trying to move it away from this area here. So up here we didn't have too much insight. We're gaining insight now. Okay, now we're looking for the continuation here down into 52.53. Let's see if we can get that. Could get sharp moves right back to the top of the range. We've seen this environment so many times. We're still looking for sellers here, but this is where it's like an issue of probabilities. It doesn't take much for buyers to whip it right back up here. There's just not a lot of liquidity in here, right? So a buyer, you know, or a stop run or something can whip it right back up into the top of these ranges here. No problem. That's where we want to look at the participants in here to give us some insight, and that would be, you know, more here on the offer down at these lower areas, not dark in here. Instead, what we'd be looking for is high liquidity, like this in here. We look for these guys up here to pull and start adding lower like this, okay, and then get filled in here. Okay, see how we don't see that? And so here we are back at the top of the range. Right, so that would keep you, and this is really important. See how that kind of keeps you out of that trade. Okay, so instead of like, well, there's more sellers coming in, I'm going to trade it down to 53 or 54, right? That will keep you out of it. Right, we're looking for something higher probability. Right, and we can see the outcome here. The buyers came in and moved it back up into the range here, and now we're breaking out. Okay, back up to the high here at 62. Well, we broke out of the smaller range here. Okay, not bad on the buy side. Let's see if they can continue. 65 and maybe 70 here. Okay, so now let's take a jump back here. Okay, we're just reading this context in here and these guys here. Now we can even look at that again and put that into context right here. Okay, so we're looking for a move above this 61 area here. Is that right? Yeah, about 61. Okay, and we're looking to see if buyers are going to move it away now from this area here, and they're not yet. Okay, now look out here. We might get our sellers right back in after, if we can break this trend line here and get back down below our 61 here. Okay, so just different scenarios we're looking for in the order flow here. Here they come. First move would probably be down to about here, 57.5. You can see a matching up volume profile here for the session, along with the liquidity heat map here. It's more at 59 here. They're not really down here at 57, except on the smaller profile here. Okay, and again, a jump back here, higher time frame. Okay, and we left off here. Okay, on the higher time frame, we were still bullish. Okay, we're looking for this 70 level, 68.70, as well as up to 83. And just want to reiterate, so we're reading the order flow in here, but we're getting a picture you know, who's in control and on what time frame. Okay, so we got some insight from this little move here, and now we're above that move. Okay, CSM Jazz, you want to look at gold and then also NQ, Business Beyond, sure. Okay, look at these guys come in. These sellers just moved it away here. That's not bad, but that, you know, I'm looking for the move away here around this kind of 61 or no 62, let's call it here. That's where I want to see the move away. Not this looks more like a maybe potential profit taking up here. It's not a move away. Okay. The move away here, and this is something we look at, and we've talked about this so many times about pivots, right? A pivot move and an equal, and we talk about measured moves as well. So a measured move would be something like this here. Let's just take a look. Okay, so here's our range, and this would be our measured move. Okay, and it lines up really nicely with 59 down here. Okay, so something to take a look at. Okay, we don't see it yet, right? And again, the selling in here just took it to the bottom of the range. Okay, so we're still looking to see if seller, we need to see some sellers here move it. They can trade down to it. We need to see them move it away here quickly. We need to see this kind of move here, this quick move here, down here. That's what we're looking for in this scenario here. Okay, now if you see something up here like maybe some exhaustion or, you know, high liquidity in here, and the reaction to it is sellers, and we start to see some sellers come in like on here. See how we're still bullish in here because we don't see sellers right here. This is where we need to see them, and then we're looking for the quick move down to 59, right? So that would be like a break of the range here, right? So, and we don't see it, right? So we're still bullish here basically, and we're looking for our 68 level up here. Okay, and here we go. Okay, 70, and let's go back again, jumping back and forth here on Monday. Here's our 70 level, here's our 84 level again. Okay, let's take a look over here. Okay, our 83, 84 is this swing up here. Okay, maybe a little bit lower as well, as we kind of look in, not much more granular, but a little bit at around 77.5 or so. Now let's match that up with heat map. Okay, let's zoom out. And I don't really see much until we get up to 75. Okay, a lot here at 70, right here at 70. Okay, 465 contracts there. All right, let's jump over to NQ for just a quick move here and check it out. And stops and icebergs. Hold on, sorry guys, just a moment, get there. Subchart. Here we go. I do not want them aligned. I want them on summation. Okay. Wow, lots of iceberg buying there. Just over time. And lots of stops too. Okay, well, both markets are, this is another thing to kind of glean from this information. Both markets are still, they're still bullish here, right? So we don't see any change. So we just stay with the trend here. And we're going over the different scenarios on different time frames and learning from it. But, you know, they could turn into bigger moves. They didn't on the ES. And we're looking for that scenario in some of these areas in here. Down here, we're looking for it. And notice how we didn't see it in here, right? And then we got the opposite move. Okay? So, in fact, we get a pullback here, and they're supporting it, and then the continuation here. Now, the NASDAQ's doing the same thing. So we're just sticking with the trend until we see something different. This is why I just love the correlations of different markets in here. Okay, we can see that there's nothing changing here right now. Okay, it just went up above 11,200 here. Okay, in the NASDAQ E-mini. All right. All right, any questions yet? Like, we can go through, well, we went through the NASDAQ here. You know, not really, I mean, we're not seeing, just stick with that bullish trend here, especially on the NASDAQ. The NASDAQ was a bit more insightful, I think, than the S&P here. Okay, about the bullish move here. We jump over to gold as well. Let's take a quick look. Wow. Nice move in gold. Look at all this activity on in the heat map here. A lot of back and forth. All right, well, gold is just actually the same, pretty bullish in gold. These are very strong moves. Okay. And again, look at the liquidity pulled here around the event. Okay, and then we get the follow through, or the market comes back in after the event. And nothing really changed too much. These guys they just pulled their liquidity, and someone stayed here around 1685, and they all just added back in. And they transacted. And it's supported here on the bid again here. And we see the nice move higher. Okay, so looking for 1700 basically. This is going to be a nice stop run there. Okay, again, I have CVD and not stops and icebergs. Hold on. Yeah, beautiful there. Stop run and icebergs on the other side here. Okay, so we're getting there. All right, so now gold is obviously going along with the stock market indexes as well. Okay, now we're getting up into our areas though of interest. 72. Well, let's see, we came up to about 74. Let's take a look again at our higher time frame here. All right, so we're talking about these wicks up in here. And we're getting up there now. Obviously, you can even see the trend here on the hourly. Right here, we see the move here, okay, and the trend channel. Okay, so maybe this is as high as it goes. This is where we want to look to the order flow to give us insight. Okay, look at this beautiful exhaustion right here, followed by sellers, and they took these buyers on the bid here. Okay, right back down to this very quick move here, down to 68. Okay, bottom of the range. Kishore, yeah, okay. So I think what you're talking about is you have multiple windows, you have multiple monitors, and yeah, I can demo something here in Bookmap. So here, for example, I'll just use the same monitor, and then let's take a look at the the NQ, I guess, right? And I'll put it over here. Now there's this tool that we don't demo very often. We're looking at gold here. Let's go to ES. This tool that we don't use very often, but I think this is what you're asking, is this tool here. Okay, Synchronized Charts. Right. I mean, you can see if I use the crosshairs, you see that the vertical crosshair is on both, so that I'm moving it back and forth here on the ES, but you can see the vertical crosshair only on the NQ. So you can look at your areas in here and go, this is where we saw a big move. Did it apply also to NASDAQ? And it did. You can see the big green dots there. All right. So that's helpful. But you want to synchronize these charts, click on this button here. Okay, Synchronize Charts. Now, the way the Synchronize Charts works is now I clicked on the button here from my ES chart. This is the master chart. If I zoom in now on the ES, it also zooms in. It shows the exact same time frame or zoom area on the NQ now, and you can see that it's synchronized here, but note that it's kind of grayed out, right? So you can't click on this chart. If you click on the NQ chart now, you're gonna they will not be synchronized any longer. You will lose the synchronization. So if I click here, note that it's not synchronized any longer. Right now, if I go back here and I click on this and synchronize the chart. All right, I need to come back and click on it one more time. Now, if I zoom in here, it zooms also on both charts. Is that what you're asking? Okay, and then now this works not just on the NQ. This works on all charts that I have open. Okay, so on all of your different windows, you should see that. Okay, that's what you're looking for. Great. All right, so we got that covered. Yeah, we don't use it very often. I think we don't get too many questions about it. I guess it's pretty straightforward, as well as I can't demo like multiple monitors in here, so I have to show it on multiple windows, multiple popped out windows here. Yeah, so we could do the same. If we do it for NVIDIA here, it's going to do the same. Note how there's a couple different ways to do this. What I did here was I double clicked on the instrument and it will pop it out. I can also kind of just take it and drag and drop it, and it will open up the same chart size or similar chart size as what I had just before. All right, so now I'm still, let's go back here to the ES, click on that chart and then synchronize it here. Okay, this is actually the wrong one, sorry. This ES chart here, and synchronize it. Now note the gray button here, they're all synchronized, right? So if I zoom in on this chart, all the rest are zooming in as well. If I zoom out, etc. Note the vertical zoom, that does not work. It's only the horizontal zoom. Okay, time frames. Can I please explain how exactly you are entering a trade? Yeah, this is something that it's not a trading room in here, and I can show you multiple considerations for entering a trade. Okay, real time as well. No problem. I'd be happy to go through that. We do it all the time, but just note that our goal in here is not to show one specific style. Okay, that's exactly what I was explaining early in the webinar. That's why we have JTrader, a stocks trader, on Wednesdays, and then Scott Pulcini, a futures trader, on Thursdays. So they can go over exactly their style of trading, right? We believe it's irresponsible to do that here during these webinars because we are a trading platform. Okay, we're not a trading style. you know, a lot of people think, oh, you guys, you know, mostly scalp because you can show lower time frames so nicely. And yeah, it works great for scalping, but it works great for also much longer term trading as well. Okay, so you can zoom out, you can look at this here, you can look at your levels in here zoomed out, and start to look for some sort of confluence with some of the higher time frames, right? So like on our higher time frame, we're still, you know, kind of going back and forth a little bit on that 15-minute chart. We still see a little bit of a wick here, but you know, it's still kind of going up basically. All right, so interesting now, point of control just moved up here, so it means the most traded level for the day here is now up here at 3670. All right, so now this is kind of interesting because this could lead to a mean reversion trade up here, right? That there's a lot of volume up here. Look at all this buy volume up here. Okay, now we have some beautiful context up here. All right, so it's almost like a dirty word to say context. Let me explain though. Look at all this buying in here, right? Look at down here in the icebergs. Okay, we just had we traded here from how many icebergs did I have here? Negative 71 down to, so like, you know, some about 3,700 icebergs just transacted right here, right? Okay, so now we have some nice confluence. There's buyers up here. It created right here at this point, because of all of this buying in here, it created the high volume node. Okay, and this could be a lot of trap volume in here. This whole area could be trapped volume. Okay, and then we're looking for the seller. If that is the case, and we have icebergs to support this idea, we also have our higher time frame chart to support this idea. So now we're looking in the order flow. Okay, now here we see pretty sharp move by the sellers. It's not a whole lot of selling volume, but it was successful in bringing it away from this whole level here. That's the most important part. Okay, we look for that to be with high volume. Okay, but it doesn't have to be. So we're going to mark this up, and then we're going to look for a measured move in here. Okay, from here down to here. All right, now we're going to mark that up with other levels in here. Okay, and we talked about why these measured moves work, etc. So now we've traded away from this zone here, and we're down in this area here. Okay, now what are the buyers and sellers doing down here? And this is a pullback. Can pull back to this area here, 69. Also back to point of control, basically. Okay, but this is the first level we want to look at. Now, do we get our sellers in here now? I just don't like that the order book, we're not getting too much information from the order book. And actually, we're not getting too much information from buyers and sellers in here either. But I'm open to, if we get enough sellers right down here around 66 for 63, 62 to transact. Okay, it's not ready yet. There we go. Here's a nice little move. Okay, so actually this might be a good time to demo something. Okay, so again, these are not trade recommendations, but I want to show you also the break-even point indicator. Okay, this is something we just released right here, and we'll go over that. All right, so yeah, we want to see if maybe we can get a move from here on down. We just jump in here. Okay, and okay, I'm going to have to get rid of our point of control indicator here. All right. Okay, so see the green line here? That's my break-even point. Okay, because I just put in one contract. Let's put in two. Okay, so now that I have two, and they're, yeah, actually I want to see I got to scale in and out of this to demo this correctly here, but maybe we can take some off down here if we get a move down there. Yeah, let me just to demo this here. I might have to, take some early profit, or maybe it can scale into it here. Yeah, it looks like I'll scale into it. Okay, so this could be a trade. Now this is not a trade recommendation whatsoever, but in fact, let's just scale in. There we go. Okay, so kind of top of the range, right? We're scaling in here. Okay, we got in here a couple positions. We added another one up here at the top of the range, okay, and I have another one up here as well, just in front of this liquidity here at 70. Okay, so see the green line right here? This is my break-even point. I want to show this break-even indicator in here and how it works. Because I scaled in, and let's take the dots off for just a minute here. And maybe best bid and offer. We'll take that off as well. And just maybe look at last trade. Okay. So because I took I got in here short. I added to the short to have two positions on. As soon as I did that, actually add a different price point here. See how it kind of averaged my cost? Okay. So now my break-even point is a little bit higher here because I averaged into it. Right, so now and then price went back down, and then it went back up, and I added into a losing position here, right here. Okay, and didn't get filled here, so I got filled here. This is where my break-even point, because I added to this, is down lower. Okay, now I want to show something in here with this break-even point indicator, is that we can see that it jumped up a bit, right? But this is not your average position here. This is just showing you your break-even point. Where would I be at zero? Okay, it would be here. Okay, so and okay, we get a nice move to the upside, and it filled us at the top of the range here. Okay, so now we have another break-even point here. Right, it moved up. Right, so now it's up here. Right, so we're looking at how this indicator here scales in and then shows me a different break-even point. It's actually, ironically, it's very close to my average. See the purple line right here? Okay, that is my average position in here. Right, so an average is very, very different than my break-even point, though. Okay, in this case, they are aligned. All right, so let's see if we'll scale out here a bit. And let me go over some of the settings in here as well. Okay, so this is really nice in here. You can put in your per contract, how much it costs. So your commissions you can put right into input into this indicator to give you a more accurate view of your trading activity in here. Now this will work in any mode. Right now I'm in sim mode. Okay, but this will also work in your live trading, and you're going to have to put it in manually here, right? Because different brokers have different fees, different types of markets, etc. It gets very complex, and we want to avoid that, right? So you have to put it in manually. All right, so you have to know your broker and what they're charging you, and then put it in. Okay, and then you'll see that the calculation is different. Okay, once you put that in, right, it dramatically changed it down here. All right, so here it is without the commissions, and let's go without commissions for right now. And then there's another one here I want to show, and as this thing runs away from us, okay, hold on a minute here, and let's go back to our bigger picture. Okay, looking good. It's coming up into here. Okay, we're probably going to get that move up into 80, 83, 84, which is 10 points higher. Not seeing much, seeing something here at 80. Okay, anyway, we'll just keep it open here, and we'll get back to volume dots, best bid and offer. Okay. Okay, so yeah, anyway, the back to the top of the range in here. Now we saw our icebergs in here, so our trade idea was due to these icebergs, and then the move away here, even though it was on very light volume, it did move it away here. Okay, from this area up here, and we had our point of control, which is now here at 3670. Okay, so now let's see if we can get, and we've seen this move so many times, let's see if we can get sellers not only to the point of control, which is here, okay, right here at 70, and we got filled there as well. We're looking for sellers if they can push it through that on high volume. Okay, so typically we look for a bounce off of the point of control. Okay, but once we get up into these lofty areas up in here, then what we're looking for is to see if we can get sellers to push it through that back down into lower levels here, right? And we don't see that happening right now. Okay, they're still buying up here, still buying. Okay. These guys getting filled up here, 75. They're in again with more here at 75. See, we're still, this is undeniable. These stops and icebergs here, which created that, or the icebergs, which created that point of control. So looking for just a retest back down to here. It's been bound. It kind of went through it and bounced off of it. High liquidity coming in just below it here at 69 and a quarter. It looks like. And let's jump around at some of our look at our correlations as well. Okay, so Nasdaq's sold off to the bottom of the range here, point of control, and bouncing at the moment. Okay, the figures down here at 200, where they broke out from. See if the sellers can reach that. There they go. Come on, sellers. You should be able to hit that. And maybe they can get down to 90 as well. All right, so ES should be following suit. Kind of, not really. ES is, seems to be a little stronger. Okay, down to point of control. Sell icebergs aren't stopping. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, they're continuing to sell. So it's taken a while for this to kind of, I mean, it's been a bullish move. There's no question, right? But we've been looking at this level here since the beginning of the webinar here. You got that little sell candle in here. If let's look at the daily here, and it, or just the day action. So maybe we can get a pullback to about here, which would be about 60, something like that. 62 maybe. That would be down in here. Again, lots of buying here, right into icebergs. In fact, let's turn on the on-chart icebergs. This is it can be pretty interesting. They're really in here and totally absorbing. And we can get a lot of information from this here. Yeah, and they're still absorbing. 72.5. Yep, started right here. And look, there's another one up here, 352, still up here at 75. Okay, more here, one just got filled or executed, another one executed here. Here's our 1,000, almost 1,100 icebergs. Here's a couple hundred, here's a couple hundred. Okay, and then another one up here, 352. Okay, so we have a few different levels in here on icebergs. One over here, which was significant, and one a little higher here. $75 is IBH, okay. Okay, it's back up there. Okay, and they're still absorbing. This guy's still here. Okay, another one just kicked off as well. And then another 500 or so here. Okay, another one here as well. They're just absorbing as much as they can. Okay, now something about icebergs. This is something that we really, this is kind of important to understand. And the behavior of, or how to read icebergs a little more, or just an understanding of what icebergs are, I think is the right thing to say. These are larger players. There's no question about that. Okay, and now they're getting filled at the price that they want to get filled at. And you can see, I mean, look at how aggressive they are. Here's another one, 71. Here's the 667 is still up here. Here's 107 still here. So now they're using, it's basically a hidden order, but it's like a limit order. It's just hidden. Now, when you use a limit order, basically, it's got to trade into you and through you, unless you have enough to absorb all of that selling pressure or buying pressure up into an area here, for example, and you're a seller with your limit orders. For you to get filled, or typically for a retail trader, you're at the end of the queue. right? Most of the larger players are already in front of you. Okay, so what that means is if you're going to be using limit orders, basically it's got to trade through you. All right, so we all know that. I mean, the different ways that we've traded over the years. Like you know that you're going to have to, like, it's very rare that it hits your price level for your limit order, you get filled perfectly, and then the price, that's it. You top ticked it, right? So it has to usually trade through you, and you're immediately at a loss. Okay, now larger players, they want to get filled at their prices in these areas here, and they are, but they're averaging into it. And we're seeing that behavior here with the icebergs. So to understand that and put that kind of context into your iceberg reading is what we're talking about here. Right? So we know that there was a lot of icebergs here. And then yet again here. Okay, we know that. So that's just fact. Now are we going to get kind of a shift here in the bigger picture that we're looking for, down here? And then also here in the bigger picture on our hourly and on our 15-minute chart. Okay, we're looking for that shift. Okay, now this is supporting that shift, the icebergs in here. Okay, we also noted the point of control moved up, and if we can move away from all of that buying in here, now we can get a stop run and a nice move down to the downside. Okay, so anyway, just putting that into context about your icebergs, it's not just because there's a larger player with lots of icebergs that the market's going to see that and all of a sudden, like, go down to, like, 3,600 or something. It's not like that. They can continue to get filled in here and average into their position. Okay, so that's important to understand. Now stops are something different. Okay, so stops, what we're talking about in here is smaller players like ourselves. Okay, unless there's someone in here getting filled with 1,000 lot on the on the offer with their iceberg order. The smaller players in here, we have an advantage of being very, very nimble. But we'll take a stop loss very quickly, and then and get back in, okay, when we have an edge. Okay, so stop losses are showing retail behavior typically, okay, where they are exiting the market typically. Okay, now the stops here in the stop iceberg indicator, what we are showing in here is just, we know that it is a stop order. That's all. We don't know if it's a buy stop to enter or a sell stop to enter. We just know it's a stop. Okay. Typically, though, especially when you see a string of them, it indicates that it's a lot of players getting stopped out of their position. Okay, they can't handle the pain any longer, and they get stopped out. It could even be a margin call. Or could it? No, I don't. I think that's wrong. No, I think they would. The broker would probably just, at market. He wouldn't be using a stop loss. It would just be at market. Yeah. So anyway, where we see that we can kind of read both players in here with the stops and icebergs indicator, right? And that's pretty nice. Now we have another added bonus in here to take a look at the top of this range, right? So let's step back again and let's take a look here. Okay, we were looking for buyers to trade back up into on the hourly here, somewhere between here, 71 or 70 to 72, and then 83, 84 up here. Okay, and it still might do that. Okay, it still might do that. We still have a pretty strong bullish move here to the upside. So we were just looking for a pullback in here, and then maybe a move lower, and wanted to demo this a break-even point here. Okay, so now we're identifying larger players here in this bigger picture with their iceberg orders. We also identified the point of control up here due to these icebergs getting filled in here. It was the aggressive buyers in here trading right into them, filling them. Okay, that's when the point of control indicator moved up. Okay, and I took it off right now just because I want to show this break-even point. And now we have something else now too that's pretty nice, is look at the high liquidity on the offer, okay, in a few different areas in here. Right, so now it came back up into these higher areas, 75 up in here, and then we have even more kind of confluence here, looking for. Now, did we get our big stop run to the downside? No, not yet, not yet. Right, so buyers are still in this basically. Okay, but we have another confluence in here. Look at this in here, high liquidity on the offer, and the reaction to it is what we want to understand. It was also up here. Okay, we saw it up here. High liquidity on the offer getting filled here. They lower it here. They lower it here, and they're still here. They're right back in. Okay, they want to get filled. Okay, so let's see if they get filled here. Now, you can see our large lot tracker showing that as well. Now, this one player here that has about, I don't know, 550 orders here at 70. Okay, so anyway, guys, this is context. This is what, when we talk about context, this is what we're talking about here. Okay, and putting these pieces together. First off, a higher time frame view, okay, that we recognized in here. And then secondly, we looked at the order flow in here. We were bullish, and then we started to see like these icebergs, point of control, trying to see if we can get a move away from it because we were up at our zone. Okay, and then I demoed this break-even point here. Okay, and it's still on. We still have it open here. Okay, so now let's see if we get a move below it here, and let's see where would we look for. Okay, so in terms of the I want to show some scaling out here. So maybe bottom of the range here. We can take a look at that. Okay, so I'll place an order down here. We already have it. Okay, well, I'll move it up a little bit. Okay, so still hovering up here, so still finding some buying interest, and haven't tangled with this 70 level yet. Okay, very high liquidity though. Oh yeah, let me show you, Rob. Good question on the break-even, the break-even point indicator. Let me show you where it is. Sorry about that. That's my bad. So go to bookmap.com, okay, and then go to now. I believe we updated the pricing page here. No. Okay, it is included though with Global Plus, the Global Plus version here. Okay, so if you look at it monthly, this is the cost. It's $99 a month. Okay, that's one of the indicators that's included, and it makes sense why it's included with Global Plus is because Global Plus has the one-click trading. Okay, so you need the one-click trading in order to get the break-even point. Oh yeah, let me show you where you get it. Okay, so first off, I went over the pricing. And what is included with. And then click on the more button here. Let's go to the Bookmap knowledge base. Okay, this is really your hub for any of the resources and content. And then go to the add-on section, not the user guide section. Okay, and then you'll find it here, break-even point. Click on this. And then we have on the right-hand side, just go down to how to install. Click on this, and that'll just scroll you down the page to this area here. Okay, and then how to install it. All right. Okay, interesting. All right, so all of these guys in here looks like they got their fill, or no, not all of them. So this is another thing to understand. We zoom into Bookmap and start to get a picture of this liquidity here at 70, okay, which was significant. Did it trade? Okay, yeah, they traded, and price still going against these guys, these larger players in here. Okay, so and these traders in here are starting to pull that liquidity. Okay, so we're getting insight from that. All right, well, we got high liquidity here filled, other areas in here high liquidity, but they're pulling. All right, so we still have maybe some pressure in here to take a look at on the buy side. Still quite a bit of buying in here. They're still moving this higher here. More icebergs still getting executed up here. Top of the range at 75-ish. There we go. Okay, now that should be a nice little stop run there. It is. So anyway, guys, I want to, what I want to cover here. What I think is important is using these indicators in here, and also reducing your risk. I mean, basically, like as soon as this was, kind of in our favor here a little bit, just get stopped out of break even. Instead, we're adding into the trade just to demo this product here. We're looking for something to unfold. Okay, and it didn't. It was looking good. We had our reasons. We're up at our top range. On the higher time frame, we see these icebergs, we see point of control, and we're looking for a pull away from point of control on some heavy selling. We didn't have the heavy selling in here. That's the one thing that was, and we noted it from the get-go. We didn't have it. It was light selling that brought this down. Okay, it doesn't matter, but we got to get the sellers down here, at least in this range in here, for it to move away. Right, so all it did was kind of trade back down in here. We didn't even get our measured move. In fact, I bet you we got half of it though. Okay, yeah, here's half of it, right? So again, and that makes sense. You can get like kind of like half a gap fill or something, right? So we're looking for kind of half of the range, and then maybe back up above, and then we could look for a full measured move up here. Now, why I'm talking about measured moves again is that we're talking about ATR. Okay, but we're trying to debunk. ATR is fine, but we're trying to debunk the Fibonacci levels. Look, the Fibonacci levels is in this golden ratio, etc. Like that is something that the market, it's about the market participants in here. It's not about Fibonacci levels. Okay, now the measured move though, or ATR, is like the market has only so much juice before it pulls back, etc. Or we're talking about areas where there's going to be stop runs, and we'll get a move down into an area, and then a move back and forth within a measured move, which makes more sense, okay, to me at least. But we can start to look at like our 3680 up here, okay, as a measured move. Okay, it just went right to it. Okay, so that's why we want to look at, and understand some of these measured moves in here. And now what the important part with these measured moves, and your ATR or whatever it is that you're looking at, is to look for liquidity and order flow around those events, around those areas here. And this came right to it. Beautiful move. Now we're still up here Okay, this is beautiful here, right up into our higher time frame now. Okay, so now we're really in our zone here. Okay, I would anticipate there to be some profit taking and some sellers up here. Okay, and there are. Okay, we can see the wick already developing here. All right, we also had our stop run. Okay, so now we have icebergs getting filled, still even more here getting filled through another 300, another 71 here. Now there's some on the bid as well here. Okay, but you can see the overall and the summation and the cumulative volume delta is to the downside. And we had our stop run now. So now we have a stop run at the top range. We have our higher time frame, and we have lots of icebergs getting filled in here, as well as in the order book getting filled in here at our 70 level. Okay, so we have a lot of different things to take a look at. The one thing we need to see now is those aggressive sellers and to pull away from the market. Right, so that's what we'd be looking for in this scenario. Okay, and we just keep on getting buyers here, aggressive buyers. So it's not ready yet. It's just simply not ready yet. Okay, now we're looking for it. All right, so we're looking at little areas where when and where this might start. Okay, well, here's one possibility right in here. Okay, here's our stop run. Okay, and then here's more buying back up above it. This is our pivot area in here where there's buying above it, there's selling below it here. Sellers are in control on this very small time frame. We talked about this in the very beginning of the webinar. All right, so now are we getting sellers in here though? Not yet. Not yet. Okay, we're watching this zone here in our 76.5 here. Okay, and let's see if we get some selling. And bring it back down to the bottom of the range. Okay, due to this little level in here. And we don't see the aggressive sellers yet. Okay, we are back up above this little pivot here and these sellers here. Right, so this is actually bullish. And let's see if we can get enough sellers right back to 80 here. Okay, sellers, maybe you can get it right back down below. Now this is again the scenario. What we're looking for here is some pretty heavy selling. Okay, and we're looking for this move here. Same idea. Okay, so we're looking for them to shoot this down pretty quickly to the bottom of the range here, around 73. Okay, break the little trend line here, just down to the bottom of the range. And look at these icebergs on the bid down here. It's kind of interesting. One on the offer up here. So we haven't seen our big sellers come in yet. We're still kind of waiting and watching at the top of this area here. And this is a little bit here, but it's just not doing the trick yet. Let's jump back to our NASDAQ, see how that's doing. It's starting to break its trend line here. Okay, we should see that reciprocate in the ES. Okay, this is not bad on the NASDAQ. Not bad. Okay, again, want to see them pull it away here. Maybe back down to about this 212 area here, right here. Not bad. Let's see it, sellers. Okay, yeah, this did break trend line as well, which we can kind of extrapolate out a little bit more. Okay. Okay. All right, so let's see if we can get all of this up here. Again, our measured move, so right here basically. Horizontal line here, and let's put one in here so we can just kind of take these across. Okay, back into the range in here between 74 and 67. Okay, should be a beautiful test down to about 70 here. This area right in here. All right, and let me get back to YouTube. For the global lifetime, it says the affiliate link that should include the free add-ons package for 1 year. Yes, that is included. Stops and icebergs is not included in that package. That's sold separately. It works with global or global plus. All right, and there's a reason for that add-on to be separate, because that only works with futures from the CME. And you have to have rhythmic data. So that's why it's very, very specific in that regard. Okay, some ice buying here on the pretty significant actually, on the bid, which is kind of not what we were looking for. We saw all of this iceberg selling here and here, and there's a little bit of buying starting to come in here. Bigger picture though, like, you know, it's still undeniable. There's just lots of selling in here, okay, by the larger players. So now again, that's what we were mentioning before. Larger players, they're selling, like, you know, using iceberg orders here, okay, but price has still been going up, right? It hasn't really turned around yet. All right, so and that's what we're kind of waiting and watching for, and looking for that context to align, and you know, if it's going to align today. There's been days we've seen this just massive iceberg buying, like 30,000, 10,000, you know, 20,000, yet price still goes against those icebergs. Okay, for the day, for the entire day. and you just, it's baffling. You're like, wow, that is amazing. I've never seen anything like that. I'm looking for the price to reverse and go the direction of those iceberg orders. It does, but it might take the entire day, or end of the day you'll see that move, or the next day, and then you'll see probably multi-day move. Right, so keep this in mind though. We're talking about like order flow on different time frames here. Okay, like with this break-even indicator, we're looking originally on a smaller time frame, just to demo it, and then now we're kind of demoing it on a higher time frame. Like, okay, well, we saw some things and we're in, at this area here, and we're just kind of, looking for that to start to align here, right? And that this is like, kind of your break-even point on for for a larger picture move here. All right. So anyway, putting these pieces together here, looking for, and finally, when do we get this edge in here? Okay, because we have lots of pieces here. We just haven't seen the aggressors come in yet. That's the big detractor here. Okay, everything else is looking good, looking great, in fact. We have our higher time frame, okay, hourly as well as 15-minute, and we have the icebergs. We have high liquidity on the offer getting filled in here. We just haven't seen any aggressive sellers. In fact, if we zoom out, okay, look at the volume here in the subchart, okay, in the bars, also in the dots. It's the dots right now. We just have a lot of stuff on the chart. It's a little harder to see. We don't see those sellers yet. They haven't come in yet. All right, so we're looking for them. Okay, that's when we'll have this aligned. Yeah, that's exactly what you can get, the stops and icebergs all by itself. Yes, absolutely. Okay, that's why it's sold on the Bookmap marketplace. Let me show here. Okay, and then how you can get there. All right, so go to bookmap.com, and then we'll go to the more button here, and we'll go to the MBO bundle right here. You can click on marketplace here, or you can click on MBO bundle. That'll take you right to it. All right, and it should take you right to it. We just relaunched a new marketplace in here. All right, so we'll do a search here for it. MBO, there it is, right here, this one. All right, so yeah, you can click on it, and then you can subscribe to it just here, right? It's in the Bookmap marketplace. Now the marketplace, we developed this internally, but the marketplace is for third-party vendors like Hikinashi here. We're never going to develop that. Bollinger Bands, we're never going to develop that. We're going to spend our time working on other things that we think are more insightful for you that other people aren't doing. But we get this demand, and this is why we open the marketplace. We get this demand for maybe some of these more classical, or a different take on the market. Like if you want your Bollinger Bands, you want your Hikinashi, you can get them. You get them here. Okay, what is it? Zoli store. $5 a month for Bollinger Bands, $20 a month for your Hikinashi. Right? So there you go. Right, and then I just showed you where the oops. Where the MBO bundle is. All right. Now you can also get rhythmic data here as well if you need it. Okay, if your broker doesn't offer it, just type in rhythmic, and you're going to get that. Okay. Where is it? Yeah, right here. Okay. And there's no price on it. All right, let's go see details here. I guess it's not. Yeah, you have to reach. I'll have to reach out to support on that. I'm not sure exactly what's going on there. Okay, at the moment for the marketplace, we just relaunched it again. Okay, it's a new version of the marketplace. What hardware am I using? Um, yeah, it's a Ryzen 5, I think. AMD. It's a gaming computer, but it's an older one. And I don't know why. Mine may seem snappier than others. But yeah, you know, let me show you where you can get information on that. And also on how to maybe there's a few different areas on performance. Okay, how to get better at the performance. Guys, again, look at this iceberg selling in here. Unbelievable, right? Unbelievable. Well, not unbelievable, I should say, but like it's very consistent. Look at this in here. Why? I just love this kind of stuff. They're completely absorbing everything that is thrown at them in here. They're not allowing it to go above 75 here. They're trying to get this player at least is trying to get on as much as he can, and he's still in here, and he's already transacted 1,671 icebergs. Actually, it's a few different players in here. There's 3 different players in here. Okay, they're absorbing as much as they can here. Okay, and there it goes again. Now look at it. Okay, now it traded through. Okay, so they got what they wanted in here. Here's this one executed here for almost 3,000, 2,800. Okay, and there's still buying pressure, right? So this is why I mentioned about being careful about your icebergs. Okay, and the behavior of these players is very different. And this is how to use this indicator. Okay, this is a really good example of like their position. And you can mark it up. Like, look, they're going to be in profit below 75. Okay, so let's just take a look here, I hope this is helpful for you guys. If we look at this in here, and I'm going to get rid of our measured moves and everything else in here for right now, because we really kind of mark the price this up, but. No, I'll keep it. We have enough space in here. Okay, so let's mark it up. All right, hold on. In fact, we even take best bid and offer off. Okay, and we'll look at just icebergs in here for the most part. Yeah, in fact, we can do that. We can take off stops. Okay, so just icebergs. All right. Yeah, this is great. Okay, so this is what we're looking for in terms of icebergs. Okay, and starting to understand position of larger players in here using iceberg orders. Okay, quite a few in here. Okay, that's around 70. Okay, also quite a few in here. Not bad. Around 67 or so, right? Also in here. Okay. Also, let's look for the line in here. In here. Okay, at our 75 level. And again up here. Okay, so 75. These are where our icebergs are. And that is quite a few. Okay, now let's take a look. We've got that with the ovals in here, and we can take a look here. So if and that's right in line with our break-even point way down here. But this is where we saw the initial iceberg tranche come into the market. All right, so somewhere around here, around 70 or 67 or 66, something like that. Okay, and everything above here has been the majority of these icebergs in here. They're still absorbing. Okay, but the market still just keeps on kind of going up, and they continue to get more and more size on. Okay, that's the fact. Okay, so now we have an understanding of not only when would these icebergs be in profit, okay, but we have an understanding of all the different players using iceberg orders in here, okay, and where they're located. And now what we're looking for in here is that context. Okay, so this is demonstrating really nicely how these players can have price, go against them, and they'll just put on more size. Okay, but it's undeniable though, we're still at an area up here, okay, of higher time frame that we talked about. We have our icebergs up here. Okay, we also want to look at the heat map, and that will turn on everything else. We'll turn on the best bid and offer, our volume dots, and the heat map. Okay, we also have our heat map showing liquidity filled up here and here at 80. Okay, we also have different measured moves in here. Okay, and now we're looking at when we're going to see the selling start to come in. Okay, now we just made a lower high here, so maybe we'll see them now. And this is end of the European session. Okay, so typically we see a lot of moves after the close of that European session. Okay, let's edit this drawing. Okay, here we got, you even have a trend line here. So now we're looking for our sellers. Okay, again, okay, quick move right down to 70 here. Okay, we have a lot of things here. Okay, we're just looking for those sellers now. Okay, where are they? Are they showing up? Yep, they're starting to show up. Okay, so here's our move. Okay, now we're also looking for a bigger picture move here. Okay, due to all of the context that we saw in here. Okay, so Tom B is guys, if you're looking for Tom B, he is away. I just need to let you know that he is away this week. He will be back on Friday though. Oh, hold on a minute here. Okay, there we go. Okay, so now we're down to 70 here, and still looking for the continuation. Okay, down to 70 here. This is that area that we noticed earlier. That was really important because all of that high liquidity here. Now we're looking for the push through it. Okay, so typically we look for a bounce here because of all this buying, right? But due to all of the other things we've been looking at, I'm looking for sellers to push right through this here. I'm not looking for them to bounce here. Okay, they're ready to move the market, I believe. Okay, so I'm looking for them to trade back down to our previous levels down here. This one looks really good here, our level that we just marked up here at 67. Okay, and then we look for the move back, maybe down below these swings here. And our measured move is actually down here at 61 or so. Okay, so yeah, here's our push through 70. Okay, now we're looking for continuation. All right, let's jump back here. Some of these wicks in here, 65, 64. Here's our 61 level. Okay, so and looking for the push down and test some of these levels. Okay, this is where we found buyers previously here in the wicks in the 15-minute chart. Let's go into a 5-minute chart, guys. So I just wanted to let you know about Tom B, and then I'm going to go a little bit longer here, if you're okay with that, because I want to, we're going through all this stuff here, looking for this kind of higher time frame turnaround. and we're going through all the bits and pieces. Okay, and we're just waiting for those sellers, and now we have that break here, and we do see those sellers coming in. All right, so and now we're looking for continuation on that sell side. Okay, now this took, now note again, there's another thing to add into all of this analysis in here. Okay, and I'm not trying to make a dizzying array of analysis in here. It's really simple. It's time frames, the European close. Okay, so there's a lot of European players are not, they're done. Okay, it's moved over to US. Okay, it's been US here since like, I don't know, 3 hours or so, but there was also European and US session together. Okay, Bert, you want me to stay longer? Okay, yeah. All right, guys. Well, anyway, yeah, bouncing around a little bit. But yeah, the sellers. Well, let's take a look at the selling in here, okay, and look at like we did earlier, where they started to kind of take control of the time frames in here. It actually started up here, these two little areas here. Okay, these two little shifts. So right around what time here? This was 11:32, so after the close. And then here's another one here around 11:33. Here's another one in here. This one's pretty nice. You can see here around 11:35 or so. And here's another one here. Okay, so yeah, retest back up to here. And let's see if we can get more sellers in yet again. Question by 8th Trader. Eighth Trader, it's not cross trading that you're using to route your orders to IB. It's just that we're connected to. You can connect for futures. You can connect IB directly to Bookmap, or Bookmap directly to IB data. I just don't recommend that you do that because the data quality is pretty poor. Instead, I would suggest that you get rhythmic data and use you can still keep your IB account open. That's no problem, but just make sure that you have quality data. We would recommend rhythmic. We're not getting anything from that business-wise. We just like the quality of the data. Okay, so and then now what you can do is once you have that, you can trade right from that rhythmic chart, but you can route your orders to rhythmic. I'm sorry, your IB account. Okay. So now, if you want to use the cross trading, what you would do is you would be connected to rhythmic data. You would look at, for example, your ES chart here. Okay. And then you would initiate. I can't do it here because I'm in sim. Okay, but you should be able to click on this in the instrument panel here. Let me remove it or hide this one. Okay, and then I'll bring it back in. So right click in here and then go add panel, cross instrument trading panel, and then in here in the drop down from the ES, you'll select from the drop down the micro ES. Okay, for rhythmic. All right, now I believe it should work where for your IB, if you wanted to trade into a micro, but you wanted your rhythmic here from your ES chart, and it will route it to your micro in IB. Okay, does that make sense? I hope that answers your question. Okay, so you do have rhythmic. Okay, you need to do cross trading. So try that. That should do the trick for you. All right. This is what you do. Okay, so then I don't understand what, if there's any issue here. Okay, and then let me see if there's any more questions over here. Oh, German holiday today. Okay, all right, didn't know that. No, icebergs were not buying, they were selling, Floyd, heavily. Yeah, that's what, another reason why I like the, to be honest, very different than Scott. Well, Scott trades, he uses the icebergs differently, but I like to zoom out and I like to look at the bigger picture with the summation. This is like cumulative volume delta. So I look at it very differently than he does. Now look, stops to the upside, icebergs to the downside. So they're selling, and we identified them in here. Okay, there was some on the bid too. There's no question. There was some on the bid here as well, and pretty significant in some of these areas. Okay, but you can see in the cumulative volume delta, it's mostly to the sell side, right? And we're looking at our higher time frames, and then we had our reasons in here. Okay. JP, I would recommend that you stick with your trade of 8 data. Try Rhythmic. You can connect to both of them at the same time, and then you judge it. Okay, this is something you want to, if you want to get Rhythmic or not. Right? If you want stops and icebergs, you will need to get Rhythmic. All right. All right, guys. Well, anyway, you can see like we finally did get down below this level here. Now, did it do a measured move? Not yet. We're still kind of looking for that measured move to kind of unfold down into here. Okay, so we have our reasons still. And let's actually put another, take another one off down here. Okay, and front run it a little bit. Okay. Genevieve, I did not send you. There's people that are using my same image and name in Discord, but the important thing is look for the number afterwards. Okay, so let's see if I can find myself here and show my profile. Yes, okay. And it doesn't have my number. Well, it's 3993. All right. And ask around in Discord because those guys are, they've gotten really good at finding these imposters. And if we're asking you for something or saying like check out these results or whatever it is not us. We're not in there to solicit anything. All right, so yeah, just so you know. Yeah, and that's another thing to come to our Discord channel for, guys, because you know, it's a pretty nice community in there, and very helpful. Talk through some of these things. Lots of content in there, lots of good traders in there, and things that goes beyond this YouTube in here. The real Bruce. Yeah, I should put that in there. Yeah. Well, someone else would say they're the real Bruce as well. Okay, Captain Price, you're all over it, looking for certain levels to trade. Yep. All right. Well, let's just. I'm gonna take another one off here. All right. So because I just want to demo the break-even point here. All right. So basically the same area we just got out. I'll put another one down here. So, but this is such a great tool, guys. You're really gonna like it. In fact, let me exit this, and I want to show you a couple of different things. So I just exited. I flattened my position. This was our break even point down here. You know, we had our reasons for it, and then the market just kept grinding higher, and then finally went down below it here into profit. But what I wanted to show was see how when we took profit here, right now my overall break even is up a little bit higher. So, and this is overall on the position. Okay, so this means even though I took some profit here, right, this was my previous break even here, so I can have it go against me a little bit more and I'd still be in profit until this point here. Okay, so and then I exited here and it bumped it up to here. So now, you know, and now it's not showing any longer here, right, but it's back up to about 70. All right, so this is a great way to use your scaling out tool. So if you're, you know, we're in a position and you took one off, now you know your overall break even. Okay, so and you look for you know, it depends if you maybe even, let's suppose you're bearish and you want to get above this swing. Well, you'd take a little bit of loss on the, you know, if it would go against you a little bit, but just a little bit, right, because you scaled out some. So you can use this tool to really help manage your trading. This is an important tool to use. All right, now there's another nice feature in here, and in fact, let's see if we can get back in, and I can go for a little bit longer, guys, and then I need to jump to another call. All right, let's look for we'll put in an order in here to sell below here, okay, or maybe we can even buy back up here, or I mean sell up here. Okay, so we got a couple positions in here, and just looking to see if we can get filled in here. In fact, let's make it for 2 each. Oops. Ooh, what did I do here? Okay. All right, so we're filled in 2 here. All right, and let's see if oh, this is what I want to show. Okay, so this break-even indicator. Now this is great. I really like this feature in here, what the developers did. See the reset on 0 here? So now let's deselect that. Okay, so now if this is reset on my, you know, my current market position. This is my break-even point, right? And this is also the same as my average cost for this position, because I got filled here for 2, right? So it's right here, right? As soon as I take a profit or loss, though, or scale into this, this will be different than my average cost. Okay, my average cost will go up a little bit, but my break-even, actually, it might follow it. Anyway, there's a difference, though, between average cost and the break-even. Right now, note that this is for a new position. Okay, let's deselect this, though. This is great because now it's the overall for the day here. Okay, what is my position? Where is my break-even? So it's way up here, right? Because we took some profit along the way. If I'm in a new position for the day and you believe that, you know, you're short for, and this was a higher time frame outlook here. All right, so your overall is way up here. So this is where you would be at break even for all of your activity for this session. That's how this indicator works, which is great. So, you know, instead of like, you know, getting maybe filled up here, you know, you could let this run and then up to here. So you've given yourself quite a big buffer here to stay in this trade if you wanted to. Okay, it's up to you. You know, you'll have to kind of figure out what is your trade management style, your time frame, etc. Right? So you know, that one's up to you, but this is the way you can use it for a management tool. This we did not. We had something kind of similar before that was developed by another brokerage. This time we developed it and then we added this into it. Okay, the developers did, which is fantastic. Really like it. So you can manage your trade for the day, or the session, I should say. All right. So let's see if we can get maybe to move back to here and then another move back down. Okay. Oh, let's just jump in. Didn't get filled. Looking for a move back down to our 64 here. Yeah, I didn't get filled. Let's see here. We can take one off maybe at 64. Let's see. And then again looking for 60 here. All right, this is a pullback. This is just a pullback we're looking for here, and then continuation. Okay, and we have our reasons for it. All right, so make sure that the chart is in line with your reasoning here. That's really the key. Let the chart tell you. I even chased it and I still didn't get filled here. Again, we're just demoing this here. It's not a trade recommendation, but you guys can get a feel for it through the demo here, right? Understand how to kind of place and manage your orders potentially for a different depending on what your style of trading is. And this tool is really nice. It just showed you that. Okay, way up here. Now we can go back to our break even now for just oops, not commission, just for the for this trade alone. Now we just got filled here, right? So you can see our break even came way up here now just for this position alone, which is I still have one on. Okay, but this is my average cost right here. Okay, around 66 and a quarter or a half. Right, yeah, right there, 66 and a quarter. But my break even is up here. And let's just move that one away. My break even is up here at 68 and a quarter. Okay, on this new position here. Okay, so it can come up here and then I can get stopped out, and I made nothing on that basically. So more lines. Yeah, it is another line. That is true. You can toggle it on and off though, Captain Price. To get some insight from it. Carl, welcome back. I haven't seen you in quite a while. I miss your jokes. I need to say too high, too low. Yeah, since Tom is away. Yeah, guys, I mean, we're looking for our move back down to here, right? So that was our measured move. Okay, and we're just there. I just got filled. All right, so now let me I still have an open order in here, right? I have two right here. Okay, those two that I kind of chased and didn't get filled on. All right, so we're gonna just cancel all here. Okay, or hit flatten. Basically cancel. It'll basically close any open positions and then cancel any open positions as well. All right, so now you can see the break-even point up here for this position is closed and the line no longer displays in the market. Okay, that's how it works. Now we can also take again a look at the overall here. So if I get into the market now, this is my overall break-even point up here. All right, so that would be for one contract only, but if I enter in multiple, this will obviously start to come down. All right. Hey, there's Tom B right there. Tom B2. Tom, enjoy your vacation. It's not too high, it's not too low. All right, guys. Anyway, I took up some of Tom's time, but I also want to respect Tom's time. That is his slot. So, guys, like, uh, just wanted to demo this thing for you, and it took, we've seen this so many times. Like, it took the entire session here, and then finally our move started to unfold after European close here. Okay, but we're just waiting and watching, waiting and watching, waiting and watching. We had all these reasons in here. Finally, we got our aggressive sellers. This is where they came in, right here. Okay, we can see it, right? So put these pieces together, and you can capture some of these moves, right? That's what we're looking for in the order flow to give us some sort of edge in here. So all of these different things in here gave us insight and context to the potential for this move to unfold, right? And we got something so far, and let's jump back again and look at our higher time frame. All right, so now our higher time frame, actually a little more tricky, I would say. Our higher time frame at this point, we're looking at our 5-minute chart here, and we saw this continue to push up and push up and push up. And then now the higher time frame though is like, I don't know. I'm just looking for it to trade down to here, 62-ish here, maybe, or here, or 64, and then, some of these levels in here. And then I'm not sure. We need to see if there's more sellers that come in now. Okay. Now, one thing we do have an edge on is all up in here. We have a lot of different things of confluences to look for continuation. So if that is the case, then we're looking for the next one probably down to, somewhere around here, 57 to 54. We have the figure obviously down here at 50, or maybe we can come all the way back down to 40 here. All right, so that would be about a 24-point move down to 20. Now you can see we're not getting a whole lot of moves here today. I mean, 24 points like some months ago would happen in maybe 5 or 10 minutes. But today it's just been we're not getting that kind of range. All right, keep going. Market help help desk. Okay, I think we've gotten through everything, guys. Yeah, starting to beat it with a dead horse here. Beat a dead horse. So anyway, we'll come back and revisit the price action tomorrow about what unfolded today and all these icebergs, and see if we get more sellers coming in to drop it to those lower levels. Okay, let's wrap it up. We'll call it a day. Thanks everybody. If you like the webinar, please give me a thumbs up there, and subscribe to the channel. We'll have more and more events, and you'll get kind of an alert or a notice when new videos and content is released, as well as new streams or etc. You can sign up for those as well. All right. Yeah, thanks everybody. Let's see, I think I've gotten through all the questions. Yeah, we'll wrap it up. We'll call it a day, and we'll come back tomorrow again. If you're looking for Tom B, well, he's in Discord, it looks like, and he will be back on Friday. All right. Thanks, everybody. Take care. Have a good day. We'll see you tomorrow.